Hey, Robin here. I'm the Green Smoothie Girl. And every time I meet someone really, really interesting, I say, Kristen, get the camera. Everybody needs to meet, for instance, today, Andie. And Andie is here at Center for New Medicine to chat with me because just under 2 years ago you were diagnosed with
breast cancer.
She had a 2-centimeter mass. And she went to some interesting places. She went across the border to a place that made you your own
vaccine. It's Rubio Cancer Center, and they do low-dose treatment and low-dose radiation, low-dose chemotherapy, low-dose radiation, and they develop a vaccine based on the cancer cells.
And kind of hone your own T cells in on it.
Yes.
And then you took a vaccine every other week for 12 weeks.
Yes.
Okay, here's what I think is really interesting. Well, that's interesting because, you know, developing your own personalized vaccine, you have to go across the border for it because so many of these things are not FDA approved in the U.S., which doesn't mean they're bad. It just means they're not FDA approved. That's all it means. And you have to be savvy and you have to sort through, you know, possibly thousands of different things that might be valuable to you. But then you came here to the Center for New Medicine and were treated here at the same time, kind of
yes,
concurrently.
Yes.
Because you wanted to come here because of their focus here at Oasis of Hope, the Irvine Clinic or Center for New Medicine, on detoxification.
Detoxing, building the immune system, getting the immune system back on track. If we're diagnosed with cancer, it's a problem with our immune system. So they're addressing the initial problem, and getting that back on track is key.
And you did a lot of hyperbaric treatment,
I did.
Which is pretty unique. There's not very many clinics actually who have hyperbaric, mostly because it's extremely expensive equipment.
Mm-hmm. I did that every day with the vitamin C.
Intravenous
Mm-hmm.
vitamin C.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so I was asking Andie what she ate, and tell me about the cancer diet that you've been on.
Sugar-free, even with the fruits. They're very specific. Berries would be the best because you can eat the most of the berries.
Because berries are so low in sugar.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of vegetables, and raw as much as possible. And even stayed away from, carbs. It was, it was, to hear about it initially was, oh my gosh, what am I going to eat? And
because you ate pretty standard, like everybody else.
Right.
Before.
Just plain rice instead of brown rice, and never really focused on the kind of potato I was eating, or kind of rice, or the grain, or the organic. And now everything I eat is organic. And I crave vegetables. It's when you're off of sugar for so long, and foods, simple carbs, and you start eating healthy, it's amazing how much better you actually feel. It's the way your body is designed, and you feel a lot better, a lot more energy. I think it's mostly noticed when you do eat poorly. That's when you notice, wow, I don't feel very good right now. Mm-hmm. And as a result of that, I'll crave a quarter head of cabbage, and it's so good to me. I love it. I'll just sit there and eat it like an apple.
Did you ever do that 2 years ago?
No.
And that's what happens when you starve out simple sugars.
Yes.
She doesn't even eat bananas because there's too much sugar in them, which is a super wise idea if you're trying to starve out cancer. Mm-hmm. She's gone and done what's called the Navarro test, and it's a urine test. You have to go online to find it if you're listening to this and want to find it. And it measures HCG in the body. You have to send your urine into the Philippines, and you have to kind of go through some contortions to be able to do it. But it measures HCG, and the idea behind it is ostensibly, and Dr. Connealy here at Center for New Medicine here in Irvine told Andie to do this test. A measurement below 50 means you have no cancer. When Andie did it in July, she was at like 51 point something, so very, very close to that line.
Yes.
Also, your MRI shows that your tumor, which was 2 centimeters, is down to scar tissue.
Yes. Yes.
So something is very much happening that's positive for Andie, plus 2 years later she looks like this. Here's the kind of the final thing I want to let you be thinking about, because this is important for whether you're a cancer patient or whether you just want to eat healthier. Not only does the sugar, when you stop eating sugar, you stop being obsessed with food.
Yes.
And the foods that are best for you start to taste good to you. I say this in my lectures in 50 cities in 2011. I have said this. Good foods taste better to you when you get off of the processed foods. You go through that like learning curve of the addiction. Mm-hmm. And you're there now where it tastes good to you. Sit there and eat a handful of cabbage.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And here's the last thing I want to leave you with. It might just blow your mind. This woman is 45 years old. So maybe that's what raw plant foods do for us. I'm 44 and she's 45 and I want to look like that. I want to look like that when I'm 30. That's how I feel about it. Anyway, you're an inspiration. Thanks for telling my readers your story. I'll see you next time.
Thank you.